Acting President Yemi Osinbajo says the new official Vice President's residence proposed by the immediate past administration was not in the 2016 or 2017 budget, as the present residence, Aguda House, is befitting and sufficient for his needs. The acting president clarified this in a statement by the Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity to the President, Laolu Akonde. He said the project, which started in 2010, was initiated and funded by the immediate past administration and is now about 85% completed, with 14 buildings already on the project site. The statement further says that any suggestion that the project benefits the present administration or reflects its spending style or preferences is not only misleading, but blatantly false, as the federal government will decide at the appropriate time what is the best use for the buildings. Moving on, Professor Yemi Osinbajo says Nigeria of this time needs men and women with strong...
9 years old, this much was accomplished by Malam Isawali. Then what on earth are you waiting for?
It's really pension for girls' education, or education generally for young Nigerians, but especially for girls.
A subcommittee which I set up of scholars, which has been working for 1 year, is finalizing the final sections of a family law we intend to introduce to Kano, which will address some of the issues that Madam Isa was concerned about.
The Isawali Empowerment Initiative is headed by Mariam Uwais in memory of her father, late Ambassador Isawali. In Abuja, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
Ministries, departments and agencies are challenged to maximize all opportunities to boost internally generated revenue and not to rely on government subventions. This was the core message when various agencies appeared before the House Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs for their budget defenses. National Assembly correspondent Dennis Adegunle reports on this and others.
Chairman of the Nigerian Atomic Energy Commission, Erepano Osai, defending a 2017 budget estimate of 4,027 million naira, regretted that only 9% was released for capital projects in 2016 from an appropriation of 2.3 billion naira. Members, however, referring to their recent oversight visit to the commission, were dismayed at the lack of progress.
Explanation on what
power in the country.
When you get your money, you need to come back. The only favor I want, we all want, is the solution to the power sector. If you can solve this problem, we'll be heroes forever.
The head of the Bureau of Public Enterprises will return to further engage the committee on the issue. From the National Assembly, Dennis Adegunle, NTA News.
In another development, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed says programs such as the Teju Babyface Show are potent platforms to showcase government programs and policies to Nigerians in a manner that people will comprehend. The minister stated this after being hosted on the program. Anthony Forson has the details.
The Teju Babyface Show is tied around political satire laced with comedy. The anchor, whose real name is Gbadewonuola Olateju Oyelakin, took on the minister in his usual hilarious manner by asking questions on the state of the nation. The minister equally displayed his high sense of humor.
Bank balance, look at your visa. You need I need permission from the president to step outside Abuja. So I don't know what I'm traveling with. Talking of this traveling here. Where's the president?
While in the studio, the minister did not only appreciate music, but especially with the advent of social media.
Whether it's newspaper, radio, television, or social media, your publications reported as facts must be avoided.
On the other hand, He advocated for a true federalism as panacea to Nigeria's current challenges. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed, who spoke to newsmen on the sidelines of the event, lent his voice to the call for the media to eschew bias in their reportage.
You see, the issue of fake news, the issue of fabrication, distortion, I think is assuming such a dimension that is threatening to disfigure the industry. It's an issue that especially the traditional media must take up.
Wife of the President, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, has tasked wives of state governors in Nigeria to initiate programs aimed at alleviating poverty amongst women and youth in the country so as to complement efforts of government at all levels. This was during the 6th graduation of 300 women and youths trained in various vocations by the wife of Nasarawa State Governor Salamatu Tanko Almakura. Joshua Ojito reports.
Statistics shows that women and youth constitutes over 45% of Nigeria's population, many of whom live.
It's not just an avenue for funfair. To me, it is the reality of selfless services.
Executive Vice Chairman of National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, NASENI, Professor Muhammad Sani Haruna, wife of Kano State Governor Hafsat Abdullahi Umar Ganduji, and other development partners all advocated the need to engage more women and youths in various vocations so as to reduce the burden of unemployment in the country. In Lafia, Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
You're watching NTA News Panorama on the network service. After the break, Olajide Bello will take up Secretary General of the International Red Cross Society on humanitarian situation in the Northeast.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
Together. Join the queue. Insist that people are attended to on a first-come basis, no matter who they are or where they come from.
Nigeria, good people, great nation.
Thank you for staying tuned. You're on to NTA News Panorama. Let's join Olajide Bello now as he takes on our guest from the International Red Cross Society.
Welcome to NTA Panorama. And joining me in the studio is the Secretary General of the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Cross Societies, El Haj Asi. Mr. Asi, you're welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, so what's the purpose of your visit to Nigeria?
Yes, we, the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies, we are a membership organization composed of 190 national societies in 190 countries in the world. And Nigerian Red Cross is one of those members. We also count 17 million volunteers on the ground working always on the side of the communities to help them to respond to their needs. And here in Nigeria, we have 800,000 volunteers, working in protecting humanities, alleviating human suffering. So it was quite appropriate to come and work with the National Society of Nigeria to take stock of their programs, identify where those gaps where we need to scale up and improve on. A number of people now already in dire needs of humanitarian support, and of course the conflict with Boko Haram around the northeast and then in that region is also adding to the challenge that people are facing. So the combination of all of that, so we think that we need to work in partnership to support government's effort on the one hand. On the other hand, the efforts that combined of all the other international organizations, from the UN to Médecins Sans Frontières to the International Committee of Red Cross, as well as the IFRC, to support people in need.
Very quickly, you made mention of visiting families of the victims that were lost. But what do these families stand to gain?
First of all, I think it was quite heartening, to see a clear demonstration of faith as well as, the belief, in humanity from the families themselves. It's very hard to lose your loved ones, but at the same time, feeling a sense of pride, that they lost their lives in the line of duty by saving people in need. That is something that is pretty much in line with our humanitarian mission. On the other hand, we also know that these are young people, breadwinners, also that, provide it for their own families, and they leave quite a hole when they pass on. So we do what we usually do, is provide them with some material support, and not only on an ad hoc, but be together and then see how on the long term, that chain of solidarity that we built already, can continue all the time, when those families also will be taken into account as needy families when we continue.
Insights.
Thank you for having me.
And it has been the Secretary General of the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Cross Societies, El-Haj Asi, in the studios.
Thank you, Olajide Bello. Moving on now, Nasarawa State Police Command has confirmed the release of former Chief Security Officer to former Governor of Benue State, Gabriel Suswam, at Garuku in Kokuna local government area of Nasarawa State, Saturday 18th, 2017. The Command Police Public Relation Officer Kennedy Idrisu said he was released